The following show contains views and opinions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Audience discretion is advised.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to Thespian Talk. I am your host, Gomer the Ranting Thespian, and my co-hosts with me are Erin Mills, aka DubiousKhan.
Yes, hello, is it me you're looking for?
Yes, we were looking for you and we found you. Awesome. And we dragged you on this show, practically kicking and screaming. Maybe.
No, not really, no.
Nah. That joke doesn't work. But what does...
I don't care about your sex life, Gomer.
Well, I wasn't quite going there.
Bazinga.
Indeed. And as you just heard, we also have the cat.
Hello, everyone. It might not be me that you're looking for, because I'm holding out for a hero.
Yay!
See, if we're going to make music references,
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm going to Footloose.
They're always Footloose. Oh, and...
It's pretty much my default setting.
There you go. And speaking of Kat, the day this is released, it's her birthday. So happy birthday, Kat.
Thank you. I'm old.
You're
Woo!
old. You're the youngest one on the
Old.
show.
You're old.
Am I? Am I the youngest one on the show?
I'm 39. I will be 40 in October.
Oh, Jesus Christ, my God, Erin, you're so old.
No, what's embarrassing is a couple of weeks ago I was mentioning to somebody I work with that I was on Twitter. He's like, wait a minute, you have a Twitter?
Oh, no.
Like, yes, I have a Twitter. I do shit on the internet.
Yeah, that...
And it's just like... It's just like it blew his mind that somebody my age would actually have a Twitter account.
So yeah, this past week has been interesting. It was a short work week for me, but still full of all sorts of bullshit because, well, we're still getting used to things, and with this company and everything. Oh, fun. And I was very, very highly reminded that at certain points in the night, it's really hard to get a parking spot at most truck stops when you're on your own. That's one of the trade-offs, though. So how's your week been, Erin?
It's been all right. I've just been working and getting a bunch of stuff. We had the inspection at my workplace that I mentioned last week, and we apparently passed.
Sweet.
So everything's great there. So things were, once that was over and done with, everything just kind of chilled out for a couple of days, and then we'll be back into the main thrust of things on Monday.
Awesome.
And yeah. But otherwise, yeah, everything's been kind of good. Just
Sweet. All right. How about you, Kat?
I'm doing pretty good. Work has just been, like, really weird because we have a shit ton of trainings at my work right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it sort of feels like I'm not getting anything done because I'm just sitting there in training all day, every day. But then Pokémon GO came out, and now everything is good.
Yes. Oh my God. We actually have a couple of news stories about Pokemon Go this week. I think at least two. I think. One of which I want to say I found because of Kat, but we'll figure that out. We'll find that out when we get there. Oh, but before we do that, we do have our shout outs for this week. Me personally, my shout outs are pretty much the same as they are going to be for a little bit. If you are a patron of mine at the whichever level it is, over on patreon.com/Gomer21XX, you can get your stuff pimped out on each of these shows and videos that I do. On my actual videos on my YouTube video channel, where all my Let's Plays and everything, I actually have a new in bumper up that should display this one a little bit more prominently, a little bit better too, tighter. And this one is a podcast called Invest with Beth. You can check that out over at investwithbeth.com. The link to the actual iTunes store thingy where you can subscribe on iTunes is down below in the doobly-doo. And what it is, it's a podcast hosted by Beth Cody, who divulges real estate investment advice. So many ums and ahs. Wow. Yes, I am a theater major. You wouldn't know it. But check that out, especially if you want to get into real estate investment. That's always a good thing. And of course, they don't pay me any money, but I like to promote them anyway. CirclePlus.co. It's run by Holly Christine and Lady Jess. It is a site where it's primarily when I say primarily, it's only female producers over there. So you'll see Lady Jess's videos. Miss Nightmare is also over there. A few other really great, talented women. Go check it out. CirclePlus.co. So, Erin, do you have any shout-outs this week?
No shout-outs, but again, more shameless self-promotion. As we speak, the first episode of my new podcast, Politrix, a political satire, is about 95% complete. I still need a couple of things from certain individuals, one of whom may or may not be here as well.
Yeah.
And then once I get those, and I can get them thrown in and put together. So sometime this week, you should be seeing the first episode of Politrix going up on rtgomer.com and various other locations.
Sweet! Yes, and I gotta say, it's fun so far. I'm liking how it's starting out. I look forward to more. And Kat, how about you?
I had nothing. I've got nothing.
Nothing. Not even shameless self.
My life has been work and Pokemon. No, I don't. I shamelessly promote myself at the end of the episode.
This is true.
So I don't really need to shamelessly promote myself here. Other than, hey, I'm playing Pokemon Go.
Yes.
And you know what? For Pokemon Go, I know there's like a map of like all the stops and everything that people are adding themselves. If you find this map, can you like post it in the comments so I can find it again? Because I lost my link.
Oh no. Yeah, that would
do this thing for me.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of Pokestops, there is actually one right in front of our house here at home, and it's interesting because if you follow me on like Twitter or other social media, you'll have seen it. But what it's marked as is a hideous lawn ornament. It's our fucking mailbox. But you know what? I can access it from my bedroom and get all the Pokeballs, revives, everything I need.
Such bullshit. I have to walk to get to mine.
Yeah, I know, right? I got lucky. I obviously got lucky. And there's actually a gym. Those who I don't think I've mentioned it in a while, but where I live right across the street from a Baptist college, and the chapel is probably the biggest important building from the college to be closest to me. And right there is a Pokemon gym. It's like I want to take it and be the leader of that gym, just for the sheer irony, because I am nowhere near a Baptist. Oh, and I've heard and noticed that a lot of these gyms are also places like churches too. So churches are gyms. Some of them I've heard are also Pokestops. It's very, very, very weird, very interesting, I think. But yeah, so speaking of Pokemon Go, let's go ahead and hit our news. We're just getting through it today. Just boom, 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 boom. Oh.
Get her done.
Yes. Riverton, Wyoming. Shayla Wiggins, a 19-year-old Riverton resident, found a body floating in the Wind River on Friday morning at around 8:40 a.m. Oh dear. The local news reports that Shayla woke up and began playing a game on her cell phone called Pokémon GO, a virtual reality game that encourages the user to capture as many Pokémon as possible. The Pokémons are all over Riverton, she said. I was trying to get a Pokémon from a natural water resource. Like you do. She says that she jumped over the fence to go towards the river in search of a Pokémon. I was walking towards the bridge along the shore when I saw something in the water, Shayla said. I had to take a second look and realized it was a body, and not a Snorlax. So isn't that how everybody starts out? You know, you play the game, you go around, and it's like, oh hey, there's something over there. You see it in the camera, and then that's not a Snorlax, that's a dude. Oh.
And thus we answer the question of how ghost Pokemon come into existence.
Oh yes. I have to wonder, did she actually find a Pokemon around there before she freaked out and called 911? Like,
probably if she did, she probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah. But yeah, I do hope as of this show and the article was put up, they didn't have any information on why the guy was there. We don't know if it was a murder, if it was a suicide, but that's just one of the weirdest things to already come out of Pokemon Go. It's like, hey, we found a dead body. Holy shit, we could have
And it came out like right away. They found that it was like the first story to hit the headlines after Pokemon Go was released, and somebody found a body.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
And there's a forum somewhere. Somebody's like, "Shit, I didn't mean to call it." Or somebody posted, "How long do you think it'll be before somebody finds like a dead body because of it?" Boom. Okay then.
Oh yeah.
Faster than Google Maps.
Yes, very much. Oh, speaking of Google Maps, before we go on to our next story, I mentioned that our mailbox is a Pokestop. Pokestop. Why was I thinking it was more than one word? Anyway, Pokestop, and they take the images from Google Street View or whatever. I can tell about when they took that picture because we have totally different vehicles now. So yeah. It's just random, and probably people were like, why does it matter? It doesn't. I just thought it was amusing. But speaking of landmarks, this is the one I think Kat posted this one on the Facebook. Like many famous landmarks, the White House is the site for a Pokemon gym in Pokemon Go, like you do. And now, thanks to an inventive Pokemon trainer, the White House has a proper Pokemon guardian. Meet Marika, a powerful Pidgeot and the new master of the White House gym. I think the only reason it's a Pidgeot is because we don't have the 5th generation black and white Unova Pokemon yet. Because that has Braviary, which does look like a bald eagle Pokemon. Judging by Marika's face, it means business and probably won't hesitate to deliver a hefty dose of red, white, and blue freedom against anyone who tries to invade the White House. Yeah. Marika's owner, Boruka88, took control of the White House earlier this afternoon and posted a picture of his patriotic Pokemon to Reddit and Imager. In typical fashion, the comments were filled with plenty of snark, and one Redditor posted that his new goal was to take over the White House and name his guardian Pokemon Thanks Obama, while others made jokes about British Pokemon Go users winning the White House with a fire Pokemon. A reference to the White House's destruction during the War of 1812 by British forces. Historical joke, I love it. Since the White House is a popular landmark, we're sure that Marika won't stay in control of the White House for long. Let's just hope his successor is equally patriotic. Probably not. But I just thought that was kind of cute. So we have a bird in control of the White House. Nice. Although I want to see
the eagle has landed. The eagle has landed.
Indeed. I do want to see a British Pokemon Go player win the White House with a fire Pokemon. I want to see that. Just all the War of 1812 jokes come about. It would amuse me, and Becky would be tickled pink because she loves historical jokes and all that good stuff. Oh, I know she's not the only one. But yeah. So yeah, Pokemon Go. Okay, I know you played. Erin, have you gotten into Pokemon Go?
I am not a huge fan of the Pokemons.
Okay.
And even if I was, I still can't play because I have an Android phone, and right now the Google Play Store does not have it.
Really?
So,
well,
that's weird because I have an Android phone and I've been playing it for days.
I haven't been able to find it. I looked for it on my. I looked for it the day it came out and didn't come up on the results.
Well, that's strange.
What kind of a phone do you have?
Sony Xperia Z.
Let
me look again. I'll look again. Go.
Yeah.
How old is it?
It's only a couple of years old. It's not that old.
Huh.
It's weird.
That is weird.
Because some outdated phones won't support the app very well, but it should still be available.
Yeah, it's giving me all these other things, but it's not giving me the damn app itself. It's giving me 8 million related Pokemon Go apps that somebody has done, but
That's weird.
That is.
I do have another Pokemon story to add to the mix.
Yes.
Okay, really? Is that what you're doing, you stupid piece of crap?
Uh-oh.
It wouldn't look it up because it didn't have the little accent mark over the E in Pokemon.
Wow. Oh my god.
Wow. And I thought...
Either that or it was because Go wasn't capitalized. I don't know.
Wow.
Oh
I know I can be picky with how things are typed out and a little bit of a grammar, a little bit of a grammar unfortunate term, grammar Nazi. I'm trying to avoid that, but I couldn't think of anything else. But that's just ridiculous.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway. I can't play anyway. It doesn't like my phone. So.
But yeah, Kat, you said you had another Pokemon story to add into this as well?
Yeah, this is actually just released a couple of hours ago on my local my local news station. So armed robbers in O'Fallon, Missouri use Pokemon Go to target victims.
What
Police
the
officers arrested 4 individuals after they responded to an armed robbery near Highway K and Feast Road, which is not that far from me.
Oh,
The
fuck.
suspects were driving a black BMW and also had a handgun with them. Handgun, I swear I can talk. Police believe the suspect used Pokemon Go to target both victims in St. Louis and St. Charles County. They believe the suspects put a beacon on a Pokestop to lure more people, or in this case, victims. They suspected the suspects used the app to locate people standing around the Pokestop and rob them.
Oh no! This is why we
So
can't
that's also already started.
This is why we can't have nice things, people. God damn.
Right, and so I'm running around last night, like with my friends, but in a fairly populated area where there's like a lot of bars and clubs and stuff. But in St. Charles County, and we're running around having a good time. And my friends are like, "Oh, there's a lure over there," and I'm like, "Guys, it's really dark. Hey, there's a lure over there. Hey, can we leave now?"
Yeah.
I'm still nervous about like running around after dark, to these lures because some of them are kind of far out, and that's not really super safe. I don't care where you are; it's not necessarily going to be safe. So this is just a word of caution from all of us at Thespian Talk that if you are going to play Pokemon Go, please be aware of your surroundings. I know you just want to look at your phone the whole time to look for that Psyduck or whatever, but you need to look up and make sure that wherever you are safe. Because it's a lot of us 30-somethings running around playing too, but there's also a lot of young people who are going to be running around out playing too, but everybody can play this game. So rapists and serial murderers are also able to play this game. You are not unique in your ability to play it. Nerds are not necessarily safe. So please just look around and make sure that you're okay.
And for the love of God, don't play while you're driving.
Oh, I was about to mention that. Yeah. Oh, God. You don't use other things while you're driving. You don't text and drive, or you shouldn't text while you drive. You don't play with your camera while you drive. You don't watch YouTube while you're driving. Why would you play Pokemon Go while you're driving? And I've also... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
I have also learned because, I drive professionally. So I'm out on the road all week, which means I can get to different areas and supposed to get different Pokemon. Although so far the most variation I've had was capturing a Zubat in Chattanooga. So, take it.
That's for like that's like your autobiography title right there. Yeah. Catching Zubats in Chattanooga.
There we go. Oh. But
anyway, I was going to say, part of my, even though I can't play, I'll probably play if I ever get in the situation where I can play, I'll probably do what I normally do whenever something like this comes up. I'll play for a little while, then decide after a while I'll just get bored and be like, okay, no, not for me. But one of the things that I've just found amusing is just all the pictures of where the damn things are when people take pictures of where they're at.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of ones felt like a Ghastly behind the counter at a Burger King.
Yes, and somebody did fan art of that.
Yeah. My favorite one, though, was one that got on my Facebook feed of a guy who found a Psyduck on the roof of his house, but you see the picture and he's holding up a gun at it, and somebody captioned it as, "I'm not playing, motherfucker!"
Oh, God.
Something on my roof!
Oh, poor Psyduck. Although, to be fair, those suckers are he'd probably shake off a bullet and then just... use some sort of psychic ability and kick your ass. So, don't point your guns at Pokemon, people. Especially if you're playing Pokemon Go, because if you try and fire... Oh, God, if there is ever a news story where somebody got hit with, like, a bullet or a BB gun or something because they were trying to fire at the Pokemon, oh, God. That's gonna end up on pretty much every podcast ever. But yeah, one of the other things you can do is you can actually incubate eggs, and you have to do that. You put them in the incubator, you walk around with it. And I was thinking, okay, the one thing I could do, leave the thing going. I usually have my phone like plugged into the radio so I can listen to music or whatever. So it's already constantly charging, I don't have to worry about the charge, but leave the program active, just like in the background or whatever, and just drive. And hey, you know what? A little bit later, have a hatched egg or two. Turns out you can't do that because once it goes above 20 miles an hour, it just doesn't work. So damn. But oh well.
Damn.
Yeah, I have to do it the old-fashioned.
The point is to get you outside and walking, not necessarily just outside.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to do any of this while driving, and that's another reason why you shouldn't. Just don't do it.
Yeah. So yeah, even just leaving it alone while you drive down the road does not work. Sorry, guys. So yeah, we'll leave the Pokemon news for now, even though there's a lot more that could be going on with it. And we'll probably hear more of it in the coming weeks. Out of Pensacola, Florida is our next one. Hi, Florida. How you doing? Pensacola's 2 hours away from me. What did they do?
Well, it's about time. As I recall, last week we didn't even have a single Florida story.
Holy shit!
Shock and dismay.
Yes. So a 40-year-old Florida man drowned after diving into Pensacola Bay to escape sheriff's deputies who were investigating the theft of a cell phone from a bar. According to a post on the Escambia County Sheriff's Office official Facebook page, deputies saw their suspect about 5 a.m. on July 2nd. The man, later identified as Johnny Hall, handed the phone to the deputies before running down a dead-end street. He then dove into the bay. Investigators say they repeatedly asked him to return to shore, but he refused and disappeared underwater. The post says deputies and Pensacola officers dove in, but couldn't find Hall in the dark water. He was dead when drivers found him. An investigation continues. First of all, I have to wonder. They got to you. You gave the phone back. I mean, at this point, you probably wouldn't have faced too much of a fine, if at all. Maybe a night in jail for it, because you returned the damn cell phone, and you shouldn't have stolen it in the first place. But so you ran from him, and then you jumped into the bay, which okay, well, yeah, whatever. You want to get away from them for whatever reason. I just wonder, what got him? Because I'm willing to bet that it was either some kind of riptide or, you know what, dolphins sometimes come up around here in the Gulf. I bet you a dolphin got him. That's just my guess. You have any thoughts on that, Kat?
I've been pulled by the riptide way more than I've been attacked by dolphins. So riptide would be a good guess, but are we ruling out Swamp Thing or Sharknado?
Oh, God.
Do we really have to go to such boring measures? Can't we come up with something a little more interesting?
Well, Sharknado. I never even thought of that.
A shark something? Something with shark in it that's scary.
Ooh, Sharknado. Oh, wait. Last time it's been a while since I've been to the Pensacola beach, but they seem to have a lot of jellyfish around there. Maybe a jellyfish-nado.
I have been stung by a jellyfish in Pensacola.
Yeah.
True story.
Oh, I do not envy you. I imagine it hurt like a son of a bitch. Erin?
I hate jellyfish.
Yeah. Erin, do you have any thoughts?
Not really. What can you say, guy? Why the guy decided to jump into the bay? I don't know.
Yeah. It's like it's over a cell phone, and I feel bad for his family, and I wish them well. Just why, dude? Why? Wish I could ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of why, Saskatoon man is in police custody after a disturbance at the city's airport Friday morning. The 51-year-old passenger was upset that his flight was not on time and made a reference to causing damage with explosives. Big fucking no-no.
Yep.
When police arrived, they found a significant amount of cash and some illicit drugs in his luggage. The man has been charged with endangering the safety of an aircraft as well as possession of cocaine and methamphetamine.
Oh, well, are we surprised that meth is involved? No.
Yeah.
This is America, goddammit.
Actually, this is Canada. It's Saskatoon.
Yeah.
This is North America, goddammit.
And it is kind of nice and comforting to know, to some degree, that even Canada does not fuck around with their airport security. So I would probably feel safer flying in Canada than I do anywhere really. Not that I fly too awful often, but still, it's good that they don't fuck around. But at the same time, dude, I understand your flight's not on time. That happens. Human error happens. Things happen. Weather happens. And you're in Saskatoon. You're in Canada. You know, any number of things could have happened. And you're upset. Fine. I would be upset too. I'd probably just sit there and you know, rant at Becky over text or something. But, you know, I wouldn't threaten to blow up everything. And you had you have what could have potentially become a fucking meth lab in your luggage. So you could have, yeah. If you were going to transport pieces of any kind of a meth lab or drugs in general, and somehow managed to get it through airport security, which it's Canada. If it was in America, it would be a lot more amazing to get it past airport security. But if you're smuggling any kind of illegal substances, you know, calm the fuck down. Just seriously, calm down. You shouldn't be, you know, rule of thumb, don't smuggle illegal shit if you don't have to. But if you must, cool your jets.
Don't draw attention to yourself. For the love of God, that's like rule number 1.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Although to be fair, the way things are going constantly in there, it's like pretty much. Is it just me, or is it not only, you know, security, but the friggin' airlines themselves are doing everything they can to make air travel as unpleasant as possible anymore?
Oh God!
I mean, seriously, it's just... I'm sorry?
I said, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Next thing you know, somebody's going to make a little gyroscope cycle or whatever, and, well, then there'll be... I'm referencing a South Park episode. I need to stop.
Please.
Yes.
Please do.
Speaking of entities that need to stop. Hi, Microsoft. I use your stuff. I you know, for all of its quirks and little annoyances, I do kind of like your Windows 10. It's not horrible. It's not the best, but it's not horrible. Like a lot of things that I partake of in this world. But this just made me let me just get to it. In the gamut of things Microsoft has had to apologize for lately, including a racist chatbot and sexy dancers. Okay, I heard about the racist chatbot, but the sexy dancers? I don't remember that one. This might be one of the strangest. The company sent an email inviting interns to a party that begins, "Hey Bay Intern," with the heart emoticon. And it gets worse from there, offering lots of dranks. Yes, dranks, as in DRANKS, just so we're all clear. And the ability to get lit on a Monday night. Motherfucker, I can get lit on any Monday night I want, as long as I don't drive until 8 hours have passed since my last drink. If that's not alluring enough to the young folk, there's also the promise of beer pong and hella noms. If you're over 40, try UrbanDictionary.com to translate. By the way, that is in the article. That is not me.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm okay. Hella noms.
Hella noms is my Daft Punk cover band.
There you go. And I gotta say, no matter what age you are, if you can't figure out what nom and noms mean from just listening to context clues, I question you. I really do.
I don't know. The phrase hella noms, that's like too much slang in one phrase.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but there's a whole generation of people who went to nom.
Oh, yeah. This is true. I did not think of that. But yeah. Since taking over as chief executive officer in 2014, Satya Nadella has been working to update and revitalize Microsoft for the new generation of computing, but this may not be exactly what he had in mind. The company
basically, yeah, Microsoft has become your grandfather who is so desperate to be hip. No, actually, let me think of a better analogy. This just came to me. No. Microsoft has become the equivalent of the 90s sitcom dad who is trying desperately to be hip with his children and embarrassing the hell out of them.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's
the worst episode of Full House ever.
Yes.
Every episode of the Full House is the worst episode of Full House ever.
This is true.
Wow.
This is true.
Well, I'm in the minority
I'm
here.
sorry, Full House fan. Well, yeah, I'm sorry, but I think Kat will agree with me. Full House is directly responsible for the demise of the American sitcom because it passed off cute as comedy.
Yeah, definitely. I can agree with that, especially as it got more centered on Michelle. But the first few, excuse me, the first few seasons, not too awful bad. They had the cute, but they also had more, adult situations and humor too. Still family friendly, but it was more mature back in the first seasons. But
anyway, we've derailed this conversation.
Yes, we have. The company issued an apology within hours of the invites going viral on social networks, noting that the email was poorly worded and not in keeping with our values as a company. The statement promised an investigation into what happened and appropriate steps to address it.
Ted, you're fired.
Yeah. As it reaches middle age, the software maker, founded in 1975, wants to make sure it can still appeal to and recruit from the Snapchat generation, but its efforts sometimes miss the mark. Microsoft's last attempt to target this demographic, the Tay chatbot, also forced an apology in March after internet denizens hijacked it, teaching it to spew racist, sexist, and offensive remarks. That same month, Microsoft also apologized after an Xbox party that featured go-go dancers on podiums. Oh, that's where that went then. It's not clear whether the email will help Microsoft get recruits to the event, a multi-company shindig in San Francisco called Internpalooza. But if they do show up, perhaps they could be put to work programming Skype Translator to produce a less cringy version of how kids today speak. In the meantime, maybe Microsoft shouldn't use the word bae in corporate correspondence. Okay, bae?
Actually, in my opinion, nobody should use the word bae ever for any reason.
I agree. That's just...
I agree.
Yeah. Just, no, that is... Why did that word even...
Cringeworthy was the right phrasing.
Yes, very much so. Just, no. Oh, so yeah, we kind of burned through all the news so quickly here. Oh, wow. Not really too... Wow, I wasn't even really prepared for this. Holy shit. Oops. But...
Well done, Gomer.
Yeah. Well done, yes.
Are you kidding? I stalled for like 15 minutes with Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
And thank God for that.
Yes. But
you're welcome, America.
But yeah, but I do want to bring up this article that I actually had found it months ago. I don't think we ever really got to it, but because while things are going on, some of the more serious stuff, because everybody's getting, still up in arms over equal rights for like gay people, trans people, etc. And of course you have people wanting to boycott, probably still even to this day, boycotting trans-friendly businesses and everything. And so of course, they want to, they don't want to support people who support trans folk, which, you know what, bigoted and transphobic as they are, more power to them, whatever. Okay. But there's a thing, and this did tie back into when Target was like one of the first things to hit the limelight lately about equal rights for trans folk. This article on the Daily Beast, written by Samantha Allen, which of course link will be down there in the doobly-doo. She points out all the things you can no longer buy if you're really boycotting trans-friendly businesses. And this is going to be an interesting thing. More than 500,000 people have signed on to boycott Target for its transgender-friendly bathroom policy. But why stop there? That's a good question. I mean, if you're going to commit to Sparkle Motion to this degree, you need to do more than just one thing. I don't agree with this. I want to make that clear. I think you guys are really transphobic and really need to just, pull up your big boy pants and suck it up. But if you're going to, when Target reiterated last week that transgender employees and customers can use restrooms and fitting rooms that match their gender, apoplectic bigots threatened to boycott. I think I said boycott. That very unfortunate wording on my part. The American Family Association, a fundamentalist Christian nonprofit that is considered a hate group by the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, claims to have gathered more than 517,000 signatures on its petition. Which, by the way, that's not going to make any kind of a dent in Target's bottom line. Just saying. Target's store policy endangers women and children by allowing men to frequent women's facilities. The pledge reads, until Target makes the safety of women and children a priority, I will shop elsewhere. And of course, she goes on to say, of course, there's no evidence that people are in danger in restrooms for guys going in and doing things. Basically, it's what we've said before. People, if they're going to go in and they're going to commit crimes or whatever, they're going to do it, unfortunately. It's not very often, as I've seen. I haven't seen it reported often in any case, let alone, trans people. In fact, trans people are basically, they're like, no, we're not. We just want to go in there and take a shit. So, let us see. Get down. All right. Last year, 407 businesses achieved a perfect score of 100 on the Corporate Equality Index, survey distributed by the Human Rights Campaign that measures support for LGBT employees and the broader LGBT community. That high score is impossible to achieve without having trans-inclusive healthcare and anti-discrimination policies that include gender identity. Yes.
407 companies that are on the list here. And basically, this is how the article puts it. In fact, if you oppose transgender rights, you shouldn't even be spreading the petition using the recommended boycott Target hashtag, because Facebook, Twitter, and Google all ace the Corporate Equality Index. Every minute spent on those social media giants helps them promote LGBT equality, including the T. If you don't want your money to go to a company that openly supports transgender people, you can't buy an iPhone, eat an Egg McMuffin, drink a Sprite, stock up on Budweiser, or fill your prescriptions at either of the nation's two largest pharmacy chains, because Apple, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Anheuser-Busch, Walgreens, and CVS all scored a 100.
Yes.
Good luck flying anywhere without putting the money in the coffers of companies that proudly endorse LGBT rights. American, United, Southwest, JetBlue, and Alaska Airlines all earned top marks, as did Boeing. And if you decide to travel by car, be sure you're not in a vehicle manufactured by Ford, GM, Toyota, Nissan, or Volkswagen. Without a car, you'll have to wear non-Nike shoes to walk to your local ATM, where you should withdraw all your money, because most major banks, including Chase, Bank of America, Citi, and Wells Fargo, have 100 on the CEI. Get used to paying with cash, because you'll have to shred your credit cards. MasterCard, Visa, American Express, and Discover all have a perfect rating, too. The only problem is your options for offloading that cash are fairly limited if you don't want any of it to go to a world in which transgender people can pee in peace. Build your own furniture, because IKEA's a no-go, but do not get the tools for it at Home Depot. You can't buy clothes at JCPenney, Sears, Nordstrom, nor, of course, Target. Nor can you purchase food sold by General Mills, Kellogg, Kraft, or Kroger. After withdrawing from public life and buying most of your goods in cash from local artisans, you'll probably find yourself in need of decent home entertainment. But if you oppose trans-friendly businesses, you will have to do so without a DirecTV or even a Sirius XM radio subscription. The good news is you can watch movies, but there's a catch. 5 of the 6 major film production companies, Sony, Universal, Paramount, Disney, and Warner Brothers, all have a 100 on the CEI. So who does that leave?
Warner
Brothers, Universal, Sony, Paramount, Disney. Who's left? 20th Century Fox.
Of course, Fox.
Yep. Last but not least, if you're so upset with Target for aligning themselves with the transgender community that you're willing to boycott, you may have to stop reading this article right now and unplug your internet, because Comcast, Time Warner, and AT&T all have transgender-inclusive policies. There'd be no more boycott Target movement, sure, but at least you'd be consistent.
Yes, you would be.
Oh, irony.
Yes. And that is the thing. And this is just like one of the latest things to actually come out from these people. They say, we gotta boycott all these businesses that do the things we don't like. But it's like, you realize all of these businesses are things you use daily, that you give money to daily. You cannot escape helping, you cannot escape putting any kind of money towards things that you don't like. It's one thing for people to boycott, say, Chick-fil-A. They're one company, and that's fine. But, because of what that company does, that's fine. But if you're going to boycott a company because of, things that all of these companies do, that's a little bit harder. But, I haven't heard, to be fair, like I said, this was from a couple of months ago. And I'm still wondering if some of them are still trying to boycott Target. Probably. But, or any of these other companies. I would like to know, personally. Oh, but yeah, for that, I think I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a short episode for this week, just so we'll get out of here and maybe save a little bit of egg, at least off of my face. On that whole article though, before we go, Kat, do you have any final thoughts on that article or just on the show as a whole?
No. If you're gonna boycott stuff, do it smartly. Don't be a fucking idiot.
Yeah. And any final thoughts from you, Erin?
No, not really. We're all just kind of. This show is weird.
It is. It's probably
This is a weird
this week's
episode,
show
guys.
is weird.
It is. Oh
We
God.
apologize.
Yes.
Our mojo is off. The feng shui is off in the room.
It's like we blew it all last week on all the derangement with the cheese thieves and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then come back and it's like, oh God. And honestly, there has
And
been
it's
a
not
lot
that we even had any really depressing stories. It's just they're just kind of there. Are we becoming jaded to this kind of crap?
I
Is
don't
that
know.
it?
I mean, what can really follow the adventures of Fuckman?
This is
True.
true. This is very true.
The
Oh,
answer is nothing.
it's a hard one. It is definitely a hard act to follow, but we at least we tried.
How
Fuckman
hard is
defends, Wait a minute. Fuckman defends Ford's sex with a pack of suddenly grenades?
There you go. Oh. But yeah, I will admit, finding news stories this week was a little bit more difficult. Not just because I'm on the road. I mean, I have 2 full days that I can just look and see on Fark or whatever. And of course, there are some stories that get posted on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, what have you, that I'm able to pick up throughout the week because I can just mark them on the phone, and then I just remember to grab them when I get home. But a lot of it is there's
Next
a lot
week,
of
Go ahead. Sorry.
because there's a lot of really serious and even more depressing shit going on nowadays. With all of the protests and the cops and everything. We all know what's going on. But we're trying to get through all of that and get to something that can at least entertain you guys for a little bit without having to dive into that. Eventually we will wade into that a little bit in a few more episodes. Just give us a few episodes to try and be lighter. Can you do that, rest of the world? Let us be lighter for a few more episodes, and then at least maybe once a month we'll get to some heavy shit. But let's keep 3/4. Let's keep it 75% light for now. How about that? Can we try that? Can we try that, world? Please.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Yes. But yeah, if you want to hear, if you wanted to contact Kat on the interwebs and other shows and all that, where could we find her?
You can listen to my other shows, Nerd to the Third Power, over on YouTube and iTunes and This Week in Geek, and my other show, what the fuck? I couldn't remember it. God, I blank so hard at this point. I can't be on the spotlight like this. What the fuck over on 1201beyond.com. And then if you want to hit me up on the social medias and stalk me like everyone else does, you can find me on Twitter at labyrinthcat and facebook.com/nerdistcat.
Sweet. And don't you have like a review show or something?
Oh yeah, that's right. And I have I have a new video series called Your Favorite Anime Rocks. Our group is called the Positive Service Announcement Team. You can find us on YouTube. You just search Positive Service Announcement Team. And we also have a Facebook page, so check it out.
Yes, they do good stuff. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. Erin, where could we find you?
If you can find me online on the Twitters at Shallow15, at Shallow15, that's SHALLOW15. I also have videos and assorted whatnot on YouTube, youtube.com/DubiousKhan, DUBIOUSKHAN. I also have a Patreon if you want to throw some money at me so I can continue to make stuff and hopefully make it better than what it currently is, patreon.com/DubiousKhan. And I also have a Tumblr, which is updated only when the stars are right and Great Cthulhu lies dead dreaming at notesfromtheidiotbox.tumblr.com. And of course, you can also find most of my stuff on rtgomer.com as well.
Yes. And as for me, you can find me on the social medias, on Twitter, on Tumblr, on and my YouTube channel, all at Gomer21XX. You can also find my stuff posted on rtgomer.com and nerdvice.com as well. And Oh yeah, and I'm also on Facebook fan page, Gomer Ranting Thespian. All of those links will be down in the doobly-doo. And like I said, if you throw enough money at me on the Patreon, patreon.com/Gomer21XX, you'll get yourself a little bit of ad space at the front of all of these shows here, and at the end of all my Let's Play videos and the like. So, with that, thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know, shorter episode this week, but that's kind of, I guess it's all we've had in us this week. That's okay, that happens sometimes. So until next time, this is Gomer, the Ranting Thespian, with Erin Mills, aka DubiousKhan, and our birthday girl, the cat, signing off.
Thespian Talk is an RT Gomer Productions presentation. Our show's theme is Kick Shock by Kevin MacLeod. Find out more at incompetech.com. If you like this show and want to help support future episodes, head over to patreon.com/Gomer21XX. For a contribution as little as $1 per production, you can get early access to all future productions, as well as monthly Patreon-only vlogs and announcements. Our show's artwork was produced by the talented Becky Hopkins, who can be commissioned by going to patreon.com/BeckyHop. Check us out on iTunes or visit rtgomer.com for more great shows.